Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher, and today I'm continuing work on the second sculpture in my Suspended Worlds series. These are pieces that grow out of texture and memory and, well, the quiet act of just creating. The other thing is this, which was a piece that I did a long time ago. I started playing with, interestingly enough, paper back then and fabric and stitching it, this time with a machine. And I even incorporated a dried leaf here. But this I want to cut up because I can use parts of this. This yarn came from a Canadian fiber artist, Rooted Woven Art. And I did another video where I mention it, and I'll post that in the upper right-hand corner. But every inch of it is spun with intention. I mean, look at it. When I hold it, I'm reminded that texture can lead us into something deeper. I wanted to show you the difference between stitching and not stitching. So here I have this is a batik fabric. It's very dense and not easy to stitch to, so I don't recommend actually trying to hand stitch through batik. It's much more difficult, and I have to use my pliers. Having said that, here it is with I'm using the Thread Gatherer's Aurora, and it's got a little bit of metallic in it, and look how great this looks. And then look over here, and that's the difference. Isn't it cool? And then this is with the Silken Pearl from the Thread Gatherer, little French knots. So here it is with little French knots, and here it is with nothing. It just it gives it that little bit of texture and a little bit of pop. And of course, look at my gorgeous material from Rooted Woven Art, which is just fabulous. Just loving it. There's no map when I build these spheres. They're spherical sculptures, and I like to just follow the process. In this one, I'm following the thread, quite literally and metaphorically, because this whole sculpture grew out of texture, which is pulling me forward. I am now in the process of adding this bit. Now, one thing is that when adding a piece, it really helps to do this work before you put it on a wire sculpture or whatever you're using it for. It's much, much harder to do this stitching once it's on here, which is what I did. Of course I did. So this one, I'm in the midst of adding it here. I'm using some Rafi so that it just kind of disappears. But now I'm thinking, am I going to add some stitching? Because if I am, I want to do it before I put this on the frame. I want to do it now. I might actually cut it out and start doing my hand stitching on here before I put it on the frame. I added a little checkerboard here and some Oriental linen. And now I'm doing an Aurora, this little outline of this leaf that kind of disintegrated. There's another one here. You can just see the stem. So I'm going to do the same here. And I might I think I'll add one more here. And then I have this little piece of rice paper, which I rather like. And I think I'm going to put that down here. And I do want to do something here, whether it's machine stitching or with hand stitching. I'm not sure which, but I do want to do something here to emphasize those. And I might paint on here, I'm not sure. But I did some machine stitching here. So here. I did a new leaf, and I did an outline for the leaf here and here. And I am going to do something in here, I'm not sure what, with hand stitching. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this back up. I've attached this next section on here, and I haven't attached it yet here, but I will. And so it's going to go like so. I actually drew with some paint here and here. And so this is just the last bit that needs to get attached. So I'll go ahead and do that. And this is a little, isn't that great? This came from a little envelope that I got in when I was in Stockholm. The little stamp, I love that. Yeah, so there we have now this section, at least the top part. And again, this is where it's going to hang. I think it's coming along nicely. I love adding other things, little bits and pieces of things that I've collected in my travels. Every single one of them carries a memory. So this one, it's a little piece of Stockholm, and I just love that. In a world where so much feels out of my control, creating like this is how I create my own stability. I'm creating my own little world, suspended but whole. Maybe the act of creating is its own quiet form of resistance. I don't need to know what it's becoming. I just need to keep creating it with intention and care and from a place that is calm and knows what's right and what I need. As a quick ending to this video, I just want to reach out through the screen to all of you and remind you that in creating, we get to express ourselves in the most beautiful way. And that is so important. So keep creating.